I promise you, I promise I'll reward you heavily for your investment and your time. So welcome everybody. My name's Aaron Lacey and I'm a psychology-driven digital marketing coach for real estate. And, I went to, gosh, when my mom was an elementary school teacher, when I was a young child, I used to play on her Apple IIe and her Commodore computer, in her classroom as a young kid. And, look at where we're at today. We've got computers that can think and act for themselves. It's unbelievable. Those old floppy discs. I think you remember those things. Now, what's a disc? My 6-year-old son would have no idea what a disc means. But today we're going to dive into AI, my favorite tools for artificial intelligence, and Chat GPT. But I'm going to set the stage because I was born on the cusp of kind of Gen X millennial cusp. And so I understand the importance of getting belly to belly and the importance and value of establishing deep relationships with people, right? With each other, not just relationships, over a computer or over text message, but actually in person. But I also can combine that with how can we leverage technology to empower more real relationships, because relationships are the things that can really drive our business. And, I get to work with a lot of agents around the country, and, those agents, most of them that are highly successful, they're not generating their business from leads. Okay. They're not generating all their business from leads. They're generating their business from other people that they've created a great experience for. And so that's really my goal for you today, is to show you this technology really, but I want you to be in a position where you have an open mind to this, right? You're observing it and not judging and critiquing it like we do everything else in our lives and ourselves. So just an openness. Let's remove that critical element and just receive it and observe it for what it is. And then let's see if we can find one thing, one takeaway, one strategy, one tool that we can implement into our business immediately. So those are my 3 goals, my 3 wishes for you today. So again, thanks so much for jumping on. I'm going to dive right into this. We've got part presentation, part we're going to get super hands-on with this, and we're going to then finish with Chat GPT. Okay. So hope everybody's on board for that. So let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Chat GPT, I'll start there because Chat GPT is on the top of everybody's mind. It's still all over the news. It's all over our news feeds. ChatGPT actually got to the 1 million user mark when it launched very, very quickly. It actually launched in November of last year. And by the way, we're not even 1 year into ChatGPT. We're only 11 months. Okay. But ChatGPT, if you look at how long it took other similar services to get to 1 million users, it took Netflix 3.5 years. It took Airbnb 2.5 years, Twitter 2 years, Facebook 10 months, Instagram 2.5 months, took ChatGPT 5 days to get to 1 million users. By the way, just a fun side thing. Did you know that Facebook is celebrating its 20th anniversary next year? 20 years of Facebook. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. There are 20-year-olds that were alive, that were born after Facebook was created. But check this out. ChatGPT, it doesn't end there. ChatGPT is over the 100 million user mark. In fact, it hit that in January of this year, 2 months after it launched. It got to 100 million users, you guys. It took Netflix 10 years to get to 100 million users, Facebook 4.5 years, Instagram 2.5 years. It took ChatGPT 2 months. So you can see that it's a cultural revolution. This is not a fad. It's not a passing trend. This is as valuable, if not more valuable, than the home computer, than the calculator, right? Than the radio, than the television. And I'm going to share with you, really, again, we're going to dive into AI and Chat GPT right now. So a little bit of who I am. Well, you guys, I'm one of you. I've been in real estate for almost 20 years. I've been in the marketing technology space. I went to University of Arizona. I was a computer programmer right out of college. I had a web development company I had 12 employees when I was 21. So I've been in the technology marketing space. My dad told me to come home and get into real estate in 2003. I got licensed, was active in 2004. Yeah, dumb luck. Great time to be in real estate. Okay. Yeah. Did we all make a lot of money then? Yes. Did we lose most of it? Yes. Okay. So anyway, fast forward, and I've spent my basically entire adult career helping real estate agents level up in their business. Because remember, I told you my mom was an elementary school teacher. In fact, she retired as an elementary school teacher in the Prescott area. But before she was teaching, she was a real estate agent. She was a licensed agent. And then my dad has been in real estate for, well, as long as I've been alive. And so in multiple capacities. So that's my love, is helping real estate agents. And I've been in your shoes in multiple capacities. And my company is My Home. My Home is a sister company of WFG National Title. My Home is a marketing technology consulting company. And again, I'm just here to help you guys. Here's my team right here. We get to cover the entire country and help you do more with your business. Today's objectives. I'm going to explain what AI and Chat GPT are. I'm going to show you my favorite AI tools for real estate. We're going to get into Chat GPT and hopefully get you excited to create more. And as I mentioned at the onset, there's really two things we can control in life, you guys. It's our mindset or our attitude and our behavior. And, my son came home from kindergarten last year, and, I was talking with him on the way home from the bus stop, and he said, "Daddy, you have a fixed mindset." And I stopped in my tracks and I looked at him and I just thought to myself, I was almost offended, like he called me an F word. But yeah, fixed mindset is worse than being called an F word. That's me saying, you know what, I don't do new things, or I'm not a technology person, or this isn't for me. Growth mindset is liking trying new things. It's having an open mind to new opportunities. And that's what this is all about. So let's go ahead and jump in. And here's what I would say. Are we at a judgment day? Is this a critical time in our lives where there's potential of us being replaced, Skynet's taking over? Here's what I would say. I don't know, and nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows, including the smartest people in the world. In fact, did you know that Chat GPT is already at version 4? Right? The 4th version of Chat GPT is what a lot of people are using today. And they've stopped development of version 5. Why? Because they still don't know the true implications of version 4 yet on humanity. So I asked Chat GPT, explain yourself to me as if I were a 5-year-old. And here's what it said. It said that AI, or artificial intelligence, is a type of computer program that can do things that normally only people can do, like talk to you and understand what you're saying. And just like we all can learn new things by playing and talking to people and doing things, AI can also learn new things by looking at lots and lots of information and by learning from the interactions that it's having with us. So every time you interact with Chat GPT or other AI, it actually improves and gets better. It takes into context your conversation that you had with it. Okay. And by the way, I should have said at the beginning of our session, if anybody has a question, a comment, I'm going too fast, too slow, please, by all means, just interrupt me. Okay. Interrupt me, and I would love to make sure that I get your question answered. Okay. So this is all for you. This is all about you, creating clarity for you. I want you to walk away from today's session with that clarity on what's that one thing you're going to implement into your business.
Sorry.
Let's jump it. Is there a question?
So
please.
AI would be like Alexis, something like that, huh?
That's exactly right. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So those home devices. In fact, I love that you just segued right into my AI timeline, because we actually mentioned that. Yeah, thank you. So in 1950, so AI goes back to 1950, actually. Alan Turing created basically what was called machine intelligence. That's over 70 years ago. And that was a chess playing computer, although it took about 2.5 hours to make a move. And then fast forward to 1997 with IBM's chess playing computer that beat Garry Kasparov. That was called Deep Blue. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Fast forward to 2002, the Robo Vacuum Roomba came out. And by the way, I don't know if anybody has a new robo vacuum, but they will not just vacuum your floor, but they will mop your floor, and then they will go to their station and clean themselves out and come back. And yeah, it's incredible what they do. 2011, Siri came out. That was obviously the voice assistant built right into our phone. Then we have 2011, IBM created another supercomputer that won the $1 million Jeopardy prize. And then we've got ALEXA. I don't want to say that out loud. That might trigger a few things in our house, but we may have that, or a Google HOME. Right? So we've got those things came out. Those are less than 10 years old, you guys. Those are still pretty new in the world of AI. Okay. And by the way, if you've used Chat GPT a little bit, and then you go to talk to your ALEXA or your Google HOME, those things are not very smart, are they? You know, I've got my 6-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter. My son's asking, ALEXA, how long has the Earth been around? And it responds, I don't know that answer. And it's like, how do you not know that answer? Right? We've got Chat GPT that knows everything now. So here's what's happening with artificial intelligence. It's no longer just playing chess, right? It's no longer just, in these smart home devices. It's now being used to generate images, music, voices, videos, text, and more. And by the way, AI creating text is Chat GPT. So Chat GPT is a form of artificial intelligence, and it's basically text-based. Well, up until recently, if you're familiar with Chat GPT and some of the new updates they've rolled out. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to share with you. I'm going to switch over to my web browser right now, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to jump right into some of my favorite tools that I think you're going to find some value in, that are really new. They're new to us because a lot of this stuff is new to us. Again, AI has really only been on our radar for, well, I would say this year. Now, it's been around for a while, and there's been tools that have been released and they have been out for years, but it's amazing what's happened as we go through this AI revolution this year. You guys, take a look at this Beautiful.ai. Beautiful.ai is a presentation software. But what I like about it is it's smart, it's intuitive. I asked it, I said, a famous quote about real estate. Or I could say, a famous quote about Peoria, Arizona. I don't know. I'm really pressing the boundaries here. Let's see what it can do. But it will come up with, quotes are one thing. It will actually create slides. It will, check this out. It actually just created a timeline for Peoria. And in fact, you could probably expand on that. This is an image, right? The city was founded in 1893, incorporated in 1914, popular tourist destination in the 50s. Interesting, right? And then it gives you some subtopics that you could talk on, that you could, but it's all about presenting, you guys. And the reason I share this is about, presenting is a way for us to share some valuable information in a beautiful format. And it's a way for us to influence others in a positive way, of course. And, when I think about presenting, I think about us earning our commission, especially with sellers, right? With that listing presentation. And I think we should do that every single time, even if it's a come list me or a family member. I think we should just go through the motions of presenting ourselves in a powerful way, because that may gain them insights they didn't know about us, and also give them ammunition to refer more people to us, right? They're going to be really impressed with the way we showed up, and they're going to be more confident in sharing us with others, because they're going to go, wow, I know the experience someone else, my neighbor's going to have, with Sherry if I refer them to her. And the other thing too, is I know you're paying attention to some of this legislation that's happening right now, and I'm not going to take a deep dive into this, but there's potential that buyers agents may have to get basically come up with a buyer's broker agreement, right, to get paid, and no longer are paid from that listing agreement, right? So we all are tracking that. And so we may have to show our value in a different way to buyers in order to receive commission from the buyer. And again, this is legislation, or this is, obviously a lawsuit that potentially could turn into some sort of legislation change, right? But at the end of the day, I think us presenting to buyers makes sense. Why not start doing that now? Why not start show our value proposition, show the process of what it might look like to work with a buyer and what they're going to go through with us right out of the gate. Joshua, question.
Yeah, I was wondering, have you used this beautiful AI to build a presentation, and how easy is its user interface to actually get, let's say, Cromford reports on there and make something out of it?
It's pretty easy. I played around with it. I played around with it. There are quite a few different presentation platforms. This would be one of my favorite ones because it's really intuitive, easy to use, and it's and I think it really is able to tap into some great information, and it creates graphics and images like these charts that I was showing you. I've got another one since you asked, another one called slidesai.io. This one will create Google Sheets, and it's in the process of creating actual PowerPoint presentations. Again, presentation slides in seconds. You just give it a little bit of context in the same way that you give beautiful.ai some context, and it'll create a full presentation deck with custom imagery. So really incredible stuff, you guys. I'm going to keep moving forward. Let's get into images. And I love this tool here called getfloorplan.com. You provide the system with a floor plan, whether it's a digital floor plan, a scanned floor plan, a handwritten floor plan, whatever the floor plan looks like, and it will create not just a full 2D rendering that's designed in a style that you select, but it'll create a full 3-dimensional walkable rendering of that basic floor plan, you guys. And does this not look like a Matterport 3D, right? If you're familiar with Matterport, I mean, I can look up, I can look down, I can see the dollhouse view. You're right, here's that dollhouse view you're used to with Matterport. I can even go and walk around and go into different rooms of the house. I can go into the bathroom. There's Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2, staring at me in the mirror. And I can look at this. I can look back into the living room from inside the bathroom. You guys, this was all created from this. This is me in this bathroom looking back into the living room. So see the bathroom up here, looking in the living room? There's me in the bathroom looking into the living room. Pretty neat, right? Now, let me just stop for a second. Are some of these tools pretty neat? I would say absolutely. Are they useful? Absolutely. Do we need to work harder than ever to create differentiation in our business? Yes, to remain competitive. There's no question. You guys, because guess what? Consumers have access to this stuff as well. Consumers have access to all the properties on the MLS. Consumers have access to marketing tools to sell their houses themselves. Buyers have access to a lot of tools that we have access to. What's our unique value proposition? Maybe we're that resource that's connected the dots with all the tools, right? And then we know how to showcase those tools that we're using in a powerful way, utilizing beautiful.ai or slidesai.io, right? You guys, it's sometimes perception, right, is more powerful than reality, okay? Right? And we see that all the time online. We see that in social media. Perception oftentimes actually is reality for a lot of people. And the whole concept of reality, right, is changing, obviously. And some of us are slow to accept that, but whether we want to accept it or not, it's happening. And so I think tools like this, check these out. Whether you use it or not, check it out and look at the pricing on this stuff. I'm sorry, I know I'm scrolling quickly through this. $35. And I'm not saying it's a Matterport replacement, but it's highly competitive to Matterport. And it's, what would you say, you guys? 1/10, 1/20th of the cost. You guys, let's keep moving forward. AI is generating voices. And let me just make sure that you're able to hear this. I'm going to say, we serve in Realtor family. I hope you are enjoying our AI and Chat GPT session today. Don't forget to provide a great review for me. Otherwise, Lisa won't have me back. Just kidding. There's been bad reviews and I've still come back, but not many. Okay, you guys, check this out. So I just wrote that out. I can select a virtual name. So let's just say Emily. And let's see if this works for us. Hopefully it does.
Hi, Wesserv and Realtor family. I hope you are enjoying our AI and Chat GPT session today. Don't forget to provide a great review for me. Otherwise, Lisa won't have me back.
Okay. Is that a little creepy? It's not as cryptic though. Maybe just the message I wrote is probably a little creepy, but you know what? The voice, it's better, right? It's better than it's been in the past. Let's scroll down to, let's look at James. Right? This is an artificially generated voice. These people do not exist.
Hi, Wesserv and Realtor family. I hope you are enjoying our AI.
How about that little British accent there? Let's try one more, and then we're gonna keep moving forward. Let's see what Liam's got to say. So again, this is 11labs.io.
Hi, Wesserv and Realtor family. I hope you are enjoying our AI and Chat GPT session today.
Okay, that looks pretty real. The intonation, the voice, that's pretty darn unique.
That sounds like my friend.
Don't forget
Does it really? Yeah.
to provide a great review for me. Otherwise,
Okay. So pretty neat stuff. Now, here's where this technology is going. It's going to where you upload a sample of your voice, and now you can say anything with your voice. You write down whatever you want to say. And obviously you could say that yourself, but imagine now you've got these audio clips of you saying things perfectly in your voice that you can put and attach to videos, or that you could, that you can use in different ways. Denise, question.
Yes, thank you. How are we guarding against fraudulent use of this technology? Because if someone could call my title company and, for example, say, hey, my client wants to change their bank account information and they want their proceeds to be sent here instead. I mean, typically they've already, fraud has already utilized our signatures, and they've learned special ways we write, but now they can actually imitate our voices, is what you're saying. So how are we protecting against fraud?
That's a great question. And, there are these fraud detection devices out there that are, Google is utilizing these, on YouTube. Social media are trying to detect fakes and frauds. There are things called deep fakes, where they're actually not just fraudulently creating a voice, but actually fraudulently creating a person. That you've probably seen those videos where it's Elon Musk or Joe Biden or Donald Trump saying something that they never said, and it looks very real. That stuff is going to be more and more pervasive. And where fraud really comes into play is during the real estate transaction, right? Especially, I get to work with a title company, as I mentioned, and the fraud prevention they put in place is unbelievable, and the fraud still happens. So Denise, I mean, it's a real thing. It's still being developed. We're still trying to figure out how to prevent this stuff, but we're starting to see this a little more, you guys, where people, not only are they faking a phone number from a child of yours or somebody that you know, but they're faking a voicemail on the other end with a fake voice. So they're basically dropping a voicemail from your child who may be at college saying, Mom, I need you to send me money right now. I'm in trouble. I can't talk. Please send money here. And it's your child's voice, you guys. I know that's kind of creepy. Actually, it's very, very scary stuff.
Well, isn't it our first obligation to protect the public? So until they get these fraud
systems in place, I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I hear you. I hear you 100%, you guys. Yep. I love where your head's at, Denise. And I bet you really take care of your clients in the same way that you're inquiring about this stuff. I love that. You guys, let's keep moving forward just for sake of time. I've got a few other things. If you do any calling, like you call, for sale by owner, expireds, probate, any distress, life event, folks, what I would say for you is, there are great tools that can help you just improve the way that you speak on the phone, in person, and even over video. And there's a tool called Udly.ai. And you guys, this is really pretty neat. It actually, what it'll do is as you read, it will then provide you live feedback. In fact, I could have it connected to Zoom right now, and it's providing a window on the side of, Aaron, you're going too fast, you're going too slow, you're using too many filler words, you're not making good eye contact. And once it's done, it will take my entire message, my entire phone conversation, my entire training, and it will break it down, and it will, using an artificially intelligent speech coach, it'll say, here's how you could have reorganized your thoughts. Here's what you could have said a little differently. Here's how you could have said it differently. Here's the sequence you could have used. Here's the cadence you could have said it in. You guys, pretty neat stuff. Pretty neat stuff. Again, it's live coaching, and all this stuff, by the way, is fairly inexpensive. There's a free plan, and most of the AI tools I'm going to share with you today are all free. So if you're somebody, again, who does a lot of talking, a lot of speaking, this might be something you want to look into. You guys, I'm going to keep moving forward. I know this is going to be interesting for a few of us. Let's go ahead and jump into let's jump into this real quick.
Hey, I'm Alex, and here's a quick Synthesia product demo.
Okay, so Synthesia.io is artificial intelligence, not just for voice, but also for visuals, for video. Okay, so this is an artificially generated person and with an artificially generated voice. And we're seeing agents utilize these for explainer videos, educational videos, milestone videos throughout their transaction. They're creating content with this as if they were using Canva, but it's video content, and they can have their spokesperson or their assistant say whatever they want to say, whether it's educating a buyer or a seller throughout the real estate transaction, or creating YouTube videos, or even Instagram Reels. Okay. And where this technology is going, no surprise, we can now upload a sample of our voice, a sample of our face, and it will create a virtual avatar of us using our face, looking very similar to us, that probably only our closest family and friends can tell the difference. And then also a sample and recreating our voice. Okay, so that's Synthesia.io. I'm going to keep moving forward as I want to get to and spend at least 15, 20 minutes with Chat GPT. If you're creating any sort of video content, I love a tool like Opus Clip, opus.pro. You take one long video and it will turn that into 10 viral clips. So it'll take your one long video and it will turn it into something.
So I guess
like
my
this.
question to you, especially given your experience
Okay.
in Panera Bread, is that
Now you don't have to have these silly looking headphones like I have, or a microphone or any of that thing. But imagine that you are looking to do more with Reels or more social media content, and maybe you don't know how to edit video or do the captions or the fun emojis that some of these have, right? So you just take and you upload your video, and Opus Clip, it's free to use. It'll actually turn that long video into a bunch of short usable videos that you can share on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and it does it automatically, you guys. So there's an option for you there. And if you want to get into video editing just a little bit, I'm going to share with you one last one called V.io. And if you know how to use Canva, then you can use this to edit your videos. And in fact, the same way that you'd overlay text over a graphic in Canva, you'd overlay that over your videos using V.io. And of course, with all of these things, the pricing is just great. So free to use, 30 minutes of subtitles at no cost. So I love that these tools allow you to get in and play around. All right, you guys, let's jump back into actually, I'm going to share with you one more website, my last website. If you like some of these AI tools I just shared with you, well, here's the directory of AI tools. It's called futurepedia.io, futurepedia.io. And it's a directory of AI tools. There are over 5,000 AI tools in here. And you guys, you know what's interesting is when I took a screenshot of futurepedia.io just several months ago, there were only 1,500. Now there's over 5,000. And so obviously this world is constantly growing and evolving. But what I'd recommend for you is just type the words real estate in there. Again, if this is something of interest to you, if it piques your interest, if you want to dive a little deeper into this, type real estate in there. And you're going to see things like, you know, I didn't really share with you some tools like AI Dream Home. You've got things that will virtually stage houses. They will do virtual. In fact, let me share with you a screenshot of what that looks like. The virtual staging, I see a lot of value in virtual staging, especially even outdoor virtual staging. Like here's an example of a home. And this is just a typical older home in an older area around the valley. Virtually staged front yard, virtually staged backyard. Look at this property. Obviously, this isn't in the valley here, but imagine we upload a shot of a house and it turns it into a true entertainer's paradise with pool, fire pit, outdoor patio area, right? These tools will virtually stage. Pretty neat stuff. Pretty neat stuff, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep moving forward. So let's jump into Chat GPT. And this is what Chat GPT looks like. And again, it's AI, but just text-based, right? For the most part. So you're going to type a message or what's called a prompt. Okay, remember that word prompt. That's the technical message that you send Chat GPT, and Chat GPT will respond. Okay, and so let me share a few articles. We're seeing that Chat GPT is passing the tests required to become a doctor, to get their medical license, to obtain an MBA from Wharton. Okay, but also educators are battling plagiarism because our kids, the youth, do you think they're using Chat GPT to help with homework, to write papers? Of course. Of course. How do we train them on the benefits, the use of Chat GPT? What do they now need to know, you guys? If the world's intelligence is all in this system and they can just turn to that system on their phone and get a response to any question instantly, what do they now need to know moving forward? Denise.
We need to update our plagiarism checkers that have components that can check for AI. I mean, that's how I think we should do it. Every
100%.
I turned in, I had to run it through a plagiarism checker, and I had to be responsible for a certain percentage to be authentic. So I think that's where we need to start, is with the plagiarism checker applications.
Denise,
They have that at school already.
Yep, and those have existed for quite a while. Absolutely. Yep. So there are a lot of
to cover AI, the plagiarism.
Absolutely.
checkers.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and in fact, most AI tools actually leave a digital signature in the way that they write, and that's what the plagiarism tools detect.
I did not know
Yeah.
that. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
it's the yeah, exact. No, all good. Yeah, thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
And so yeah, so so that's why it's forcing the youth though to not just copy verbatim what Chat GPT or another tool, AI tool produces. They now have to get in there and they have to they have to add their own signature to it, their own personality. They have to make it unique because, of course, as quickly as these students are moving forward with trying to copy and utilize AI, of course, the educational system is having to move just as quick to reduce plagiarism, right? Because the kids need to get a legitimate education, right? They can't just copy and paste their way through life. All right, so Chat GPT, here we go, you guys. What is Chat GPT? For those that have never had this explained to them, well, basically Chat GPT in a nutshell, the GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. That's the GPT. What does Generative Pre-trained Transformer mean? Well, in short, it means that the system generates information on what it's trained, and it turns that into something that makes sense. Okay. And you might be going, okay, give me a little more context. Okay. So a company called OpenAI was created. It was a nonprofit. It was created in 2018 by basically a bunch of people. Elon Musk threw some money in. A lot of the smartest people in computer science got together, found the smartest engineers, and said, we're going to create a nonprofit to figure this AI stuff out. Here we are 5 years later at version 4. Okay, so this is version 4, you guys. Version 1, 2, 3, those were years ago, but they weren't available to the public yet. And by the way, OpenAI is now a for-profit company, and it's valued at 25, 30, 40, 50 billion dollars, right? It's obviously a very valuable platform. But let me just share with you real quickly, how was Chat GPT created? Well, the people at OpenAI, and again, that's the name of the company, they took, imagine for a second, a Word document that has the entire internet in it, right? Everything, every document on the internet, every word that was shared on the internet, every conversation, every social media post, everything, every study, every report, every blog post, every article, every single thing on the internet. Imagine if that was put into one file, one document, and you could load that into a piece of software, and the software could then understand and analyze that and use that as context for a conversation. That's in essence what Chat GPT is. And in fact, we're talking not just hundreds of billions of words, but with version 4, trillions of words, trillions of conversations. Okay. The entirety of human knowledge, the entire collective of human intelligence, of human culture was loaded into Chat GPT, into the software. And now we can interact with this incredibly intelligent platform by prompting it. And as we prompt it, it gets smarter. Joshua.
How does it know whether it's a true fact or something that was just made up?
It doesn't.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So great question. Yep. So, and that's the thing. That's why what Chat GPT creates for us, we need to always ensure that we are proofing it, that we're verifying it, and we never copy and paste verbatim Chat GPT or any of these other AI tools, right? We always want to make sure that it's truthful, and we always want to integrate our unique personalities into that, right? We want to make it empathetic, because that's our true signature. That's what makes us unique. You guys, so let's go ahead and dive in. Here are 12 ways you can use Chat GPT today. Social media, of course, creating content, video scripts, listing descriptions, prospecting strategies. Okay. Short form videos would be like, Reels, TikTok. We've got longer form YouTube. We've got advertising, emails, right? You're seeing that there's really almost nothing that we can't utilize it for. Okay, almost nothing we can't utilize it for, right? Emails, conversations, overcoming objections. If we do any conversations on the phone, it'll come up with scripts for us. How to best respond to a text message or an email that we get. How to originate in influential, right? A compelling text or an email. And translation. If you speak or you work with clients that speak any language other than English, ChatGPT understands 95 languages. Yeah, pretty crazy. So here's how we're going to get there. Chat.openai.com. You're welcome to go there, chat.openai.com. And it is a free to use system, free to use. But when anything's free, what does that mean? That means, yeah, you guessed it. You're the product, right? They're either advertising to you or they're learning from you. And that's the case in this. There's no advertisements, but the system is getting smarter every time you interact with it. And by the way, there are two different versions of Chat GPT. There's version 3.5 and version 4. To get access to version 4, it's the smarter version. Not that 3.5 isn't smart enough, but it'll cost you around $20 a month. If you don't pay the money, the $20, then you may also get locked out in case the system is a little overloaded or at capacity. So when you pay the $20 a month, I'd recommend it. It gives you access to a smarter version. It even gives you priority access so you never get locked out. It gives you access also to a few other things I'm going to share with you here in a moment. So let's go ahead and jump right into Chat GPT. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to share with you some of my favorite ways to interact with Chat GPT. So here we are in Chat GPT. If you have the Plus subscription, you can switch over to GPT-4. Otherwise, you'll be on GPT 3.5. Let me just share with you what you're looking at here. On the top left, you have the ability to create a new chat. A new chat's in essence just a new conversation. Every time you switch topics or subjects with ChatGPT, you should click on New Chat. Why is that? Well, if you don't, and you just keep asking it new questions and you start to vary the topic or the conversation, ChatGPT is using your previous conversation history as context for its next response. Okay, so if you want to start from a clean slate, click on New Chat. The nice thing, though, is all your former chats are all available right from here. So, for example, I actually name my chat so that I can go back to them. In fact, every chat that you ever have with ChatGPT is here in your history, going back to when you first started using it. So some things that I like to do, let me share with you a few things. So again, here's a chat. I just clicked on it. I'm going to scroll back up. Here's my entire conversation that I had with ChatGPT, several weeks ago. Okay. Here's what I want to do, guys. I want to share with you something else. For those that are familiar with ChatGPT, you've been using it, you may not be aware of this. On the bottom left, if we expand our menu here, there's what's called custom instructions. Custom instructions, let me click on that. Custom instructions, there's two boxes here. The first box says, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? And the second is, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? We can give it context for who we are. We can say, I'm a luxury realtor working in Scottsdale and Paradise Valley, Arizona. Now, anytime we communicate with it, it's taking this into context that you're a you're a realtor in Scottsdale and Paradise Valley, or you're a first-time home buyer, a realtor in Peoria, right? Or you work with seniors in Sun City. Now it's going to take that into context and respond accordingly. And then how would you like ChatGPT to respond? I'm going to just coach it a little and say, you know what? I want you to respond anytime you respond to one of my prompts, respond in a professional, optimistic tone. If you're unclear about your response, need more context, or if I could have asked a better question, please ask me clarifying questions or advise me on how to optimize my usage. I'm basically saying, if I'm not asking the right questions, tell me which questions to ask. And in fact, you can ask it those questions at any time. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to start off with something pretty basic, and I want to have it come up with a real estate market report for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy and paste down here at the bottom. This is where we interact with ChatGPT. We can say hello, right? Just to kick off the conversation. And you can always just say, it says, actually, it's asking us a question. How can I assist you today? You can say, well, what questions should I ask you to grow my real estate business? Actually, let me go ahead and just do one thing, you guys. I think I need to turn this on. Enable, save. Here we go. So I'm going to start a new chat. Okay. So I'm going to say hello. It's going to say, how can I help you today? But look, now that I turn the custom instructions, says, how can I assist you today? If you have any questions or need information related to luxury real estate in Scottsdale, feel free to ask. What questions should I ask? And ask it questions. Say, what questions should I be asking? Say, you know what? I'm looking to double my business in 2024. I want to work with more sellers. What should I do? Use this as a coach, as a guide, right? It's now saying, well, here's some buyer-specific questions you could ask, or seller-specific, or general questions. I'm going to start a new chat. I'm going to say, you know what? I want to put together a real estate market report. And I'm going to go to a real estate market report for, let's just say, let's go Peoria. Okay. And let's just stick with Mesa, since that's what we've got here. Okay. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to copy everything that's visible here. I'm going to go to a report. Now you may have another source for your market reports. And what you can do is copy that information, come over to Chat GPT, and you could simply say, you know what, script an email. Or how about analyze this real estate market report. And I'm going to do a colon, and I'm going to just paste everything I just copied. Look at all that. Just looks like garble, doesn't it? And I'm going to click on send message. And now I'm going to scroll down. And now I'm going to let Chat GPT analyze the current real estate market as of today in Mesa. Okay. And it's going to give me the median list price and the inventory, and it's going to tell me price trends and a real-time market profile and movements and the rental market. And it's going to summarize some of that. And then what I could then say is I could say, you know what, turn this into a Facebook post. And now it's going to turn that into a Facebook post.
I have a question.
Please.
Did it remember everything that you copied?
It's remembering. Yep. And it'll
Oh.
continue to remember that as I continue to communicate with it in this chat.
Even if it didn't go in the right spots, it knows how to put it in the right spots.
Isn't that amazing? Look at the spots that it was in when I pasted it.
Yeah.
What does this even mean? It has no idea. Obviously, the better the content, the more valuable, the more like just, you know, organize the content, the better the output. But I'm just going to show that I literally went to this page and I just selected the page and I just copied it. That's the context I provided it. And look how it broke all that down into things that made sense. And even a Facebook post. Hey everyone, as your luxury realtor serving Scottsdale and Paradise Valley, I want to share some exciting insights into the Mesa real estate market. Quick snapshot. Mesa is still in a seller's market despite a slight cooling trend. Prices have plateaued, but keep an eye on the index for potential changes. It even gave me hashtags, emojis. You guys, I could say, you know, script this or turn this into an email. Turn this into an email. I can send my database. Okay. I could say, turn this into a blog post. I could say, script it into a reel. Okay, so here it is, formatting an email with a subject line and a body. And then we could say, you know what? Rewrite with humor. Or rewrite as a 60-year-old woman who has a dry sense of humor. Okay. Hello there. I trust this email finds you in one piece and not buried under stacks of old magazines or lost in a jungle of unmatched socks. It's me, your favorite realtor, who's been around long enough to know that they don't build them like they used to, and that a sense of humor is a must in this business. Now let's talk real estate, specifically Mesa. You guys, I know that that's kind of creepy, but it's kind of cool too, right? Think about it. Chat GPT knows, based on the collective knowledge of humanity, what a 60-year-old may, you know, the context, the generation that they are, right? Prices have been playing the freeze and thaw game, but keep an eye on the index. If it decides to do a little jig upwards, prices may follow suit. Here's a quick rundown of what's cooking. You know what I mean? Prices increased 3%. Rare is finding a 4-leaf clover. You know, how about this one? Price decreased 43%. Some houses are like that elusive sale rack. You guys, hey, I mean, some fun stuff, right? Customize this, play with this. It's only limited to your imagination. You guys, check this out though. I'm going to say, using this information, using this market information, how would I influence a home buyer to buy a home now rather than wait? Okay. Absolutely. To influence a home buyer to buy a home now rather than wait in the current real estate market, you can emphasize the following points. Strong seller's market Okay. But a strong seller's market indicating that there's a lot of competition, emphasizing that acting now can give you a slight advantage because there's high demand and limited inventory. Increased competition, and that may continue to increase the demand, increase competition. So potentially buy now versus wait as the market may become even stronger on the seller side. How about price trends? What if prices rise again? Waiting might mean paying more for the same property. Increased inventory. Point out that the inventory is relatively high at 500 homes. Explain that that increases your choice of offers for buying, makes it an opportune time to explore and find the perfect match. Interest rates, right? Consider where interest rates are, and that if they fluctuate, right, we're going to be able to afford less of a house, right? Look at all these things: personal goals, competitive advantage, expert guidance, future uncertainty. We could then say, how would I influence a homeowner to sell now rather than wait, right? And then we could even say, you know what? Turn these into 6 separate emails that I can add into my CRM. Or how about 10 separate emails? Since there were 10 different items here. And now Chat GPT will create 10 emails, 1 email per topic. All right, you guys, I know we just have 1 more minute left. I'm going to share with you one of my favorite prompts as we finish up today. And that is the concept of creating what's called a buyer persona. And I'm going to say buyer persona for Peoria, AZ. You guys, buyer persona. You guys remember that, buyer persona. Create a buyer persona for a first-time home buyer in Peoria. What are the top challenges they experience in the home buying process? And now it's going to create a fictitious person that in Peoria, it'll share their background, their income, their challenges, limited knowledge, budget concerns. And we can now go even deep, and we can say, utilizing challenge number 2, how can we help them overcome that? How can we create social media content around this, or an email or a text message to this person to help them work through challenge number 4? You guys, that's what I'm going to provide you today. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully it got the wheels spinning. In conclusion, start treating Chat GPT. You don't have to be nice to it. Be specific, have conversations, ask it questions. In fact, ask it questions you should be asking. Say, you know what? I don't know what to ask you, but I want to create a really valuable email or valuable information for social media. And I'm a real estate agent that is looking to generate more listings in Peoria. What are some different topics you would create? Can you script those out for me? When would you post those? What visuals would you include? What are some hashtags? Get specific. Don't stop after the first draft, you guys. Get in here, take a deep dive. And at the end of the day, though, I want to leave you with this. This will not replace you. Technology will not replace you, ever. Ever, you guys. I've been in this space a long time. I'm a technologist. Technology is not going to replace you because humans want to work with other humans, period. But I will say this, a technology-empowered agent is going to be tough competition for you. So be that technology-empowered agent. Leverage this opportunity. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your engagement, for everyone that asked me questions, that engaged with me. I appreciate you. Appreciate everyone for having their cameras on. Connect with me on Instagram. I would love to connect with you there. And we will see you very soon for an upcoming training.
Thanks so much. This was very informative.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you,
Give me a
Erin.
good review. Appreciate you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Nice.